The Wise Investors Club is back again, and Emma, Jake, Mia, and Sam decided to pool their allowance to buy magic seeds they heard about from Traveling Merchant. These seeds promised to grow into extraordinary plants that would yield treasures if cared for properly. Excited, they each contributed $10, and with their combined savings, they bought the seeds. The merchant warned them.
These seeds require patience, care, and wise choices. How you treat your money will determine your harvest.
Eager to see results, Emma immediately dug a hole in her backyard and planted her seeds. She watered them every day, but she also spent her remaining allowance on candy and toys, believing that the magic of the seeds would make her rich regardless of her spending. Jake, on the other hand, was very knowledgeable about plants. He read books and watched videos on gardening. He planted his seeds carefully, but became overly cautious. He was afraid to water them too much or too little, so he barely touched them, thinking that doing nothing would protect his investment. Mia was practical. She planted her seeds in a small pot, watered them regularly, and even researched the best sunlight conditions. However, she often borrowed money from Sam to buy new clothes and gadgets, thinking that looking good was more important than saving. Sam took a different approach. He planted his seeds and tended to them daily, but he also set aside a portion of his allowance each week. He learned to resist the temptation of instant gratification, saving for a bicycle he wanted. He was careful with his money, understanding that every dollar spent was a choice that could affect his future. Months passed, and the day finally came for the friends to check on their plants. Emma's plants were wilting, having suffered from neglect due to her spending habits. Jake's plants barely grew, stunted by his fear of making the wrong move. Mia's plants were thriving, but her debts left her with little to show for her efforts. In contrast, Sam's plants flourished, producing vibrant fruits and flowers. He had not only nurtured his seeds, but had also nurtured his financial habits. When the friends gathered to see the results, Sam shared his bounty with them, explaining,
"It's not just about what you know, it's about how you treat your money. I learned to invest my time and resources wisely, and it paid off."
The friends realized that while knowledge was important, their behaviors and choices with money were just as crucial. They vowed to change their ways, learning that true wealth comes from patience, wise decisions, and responsible behavior. From that day on, they not only tended to their gardens, but also to their finances, growing both their plants and their understanding of what it meant to be responsible with money. And so, the four friends learned that doing well with money is not just about what you know, but how you behave with it. The end.